everybody, and welcome to this week's Explosion Club highlights video. You might be asking, why are you dressed as a pirate, Abby? And it's a good question, but the answer is because it is our last week of Explosion Club online before the summer holidays, and so we all dressed up. Leaders, kids, all of us were dressed up on Zoom, and it was loads of fun. I'm going to show you a picture of all the leaders in funny costumes. We even had 2 bananas. They didn't even plan it, and there was 2 bananas. Anyway, it was a great time, and we had all the usual fun of stories and songs and memory verse. Now, you might wonder why I chose to dress up particularly as a pirate this week, and it's because our whole Explosion Club had a bit of a sea theme. Now, Dan is going to tell us 2 stories this week, both with a slightly watery flavour.
Hi children, I hope you're well. Today's a bit of a sad day really, isn't it? It's our last Explosion Club before the summer holidays. So it seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Summer holidays? How many of you have been back to school? See, it seems to be like a really long summer holiday, all the way from the spring, all the way from March, doesn't it? All the way through, but here we are. Anyway, we've looked at so many parables, haven't we? So many stories that Jesus told us. And today's parable is kind of a little bit of a repeat of what we've covered before. So I just want to kind of look at some of the parables that we've looked at all the way through, and some of the things we've done on the farm as well. It's been a pretty exciting time, isn't it? So let's think, what did we start off with? We started off with digging treasure, didn't we? We've planted seeds. We've dug out some major big holes in the farm, haven't we? We've been for a walk up onto Dartmoor. We've looked at Farmer Lane in the hatchery. Guys, all of these things, it amazes me that how much work we actually get done in a year. Just by being able to record it and to look back over it. Okay children, so today's story is all about the pearl. And this pearl, Jesus tells about, has great value. And a man finds this pearl and he hides it and he goes away and he sells everything that he has. You know, this is a great story, a great picture of what Jesus has done for us. So let's think about this as a little story, shall we? So a boy builds this boat, gets all the detail absolutely perfect. And he goes down to the river or goes down to the sea, and he thinks, I'm going to try this boat because I think it is so great that I'm going to float this boat. So he puts it on into the sea. You know what happens, guys? The boat gets a bit of wind in its sails and it sails off. And it goes faster and faster, and the little boy can't get it. And before the little boy knows it, he's out of his depth in the sea trying to grab hold of this boat, and this boat has gone out of distance. And he never sees the boat again. And he goes home to his mummy and he cries, and he's so upset because that boat, he had spent so long making it, so long perfecting it, and it was absolutely amazing. He was absolutely distraught, didn't know what to do with himself. Anyway, a couple of months went by, and he was down the town one day, and he was walking past this shop, an old second-hand shop. And there in the window was his boat. And he thinks, well, blow me, that's my boat. So he goes into the shopkeeper and he says, do you mind if I take my boat? And the shopkeeper says, hang on a minute, that's not your boat, that's my boat. I bought that boat from a man who came into the shop with it. So the little boy relays the story to the shopkeeper. And the shopkeeper says, well, I'm sorry, but as true as that story might be, I can't let you have it. I've had to pay money to somebody to buy that boat off them. And it is an amazing boat, I'll give you that, young lad. So anyway, the boy goes out upset, but he thinks, how can I get that boat? So he goes away and he works hard. He takes on a couple of paper rounds. He perhaps washes the dishes for his mum. And he earns and he saves and he saves and he saves all of his money that he can. And when he's got enough for that boat, he goes back into the shop and he gives the man the money and he says, there you are, sir. There's the money you want for my boat. And the man takes the money and the little boy walks out with his boat. So guys, the Bible tells us back in Genesis that God created us, and he created us in his image. And it tells us that when he created us, he said, wow, that's good. So it's a bit like the little boy, wasn't it? That he kind of created us and he made us. But then when sin comes into our life, we're a bit like that little boat. We get a bit of steam in our sails and we go off on our own tangent and we get into trouble. But Jesus has got another plan, because Jesus wants us to be looked after by him. Because he created us, he knows how we work, he knows how we tick, and he knows what's best for us. So like that little boy who knew what was best for his boat, Jesus has gone away and has come back, hasn't he, with this plan, and he died for us on the cross, so that one day we can go to be with him. So like the little boy had to pay the man back for the boat, even though it was kind of rightfully his, wasn't it? Jesus had to pay with his life to buy our lives back. That is so important, guys, that we appreciate that and we understand that and we believe that. Because the Bible tells us that if we believe with our mouths, and we confess the wrong that we've done, that Jesus will come and save us. Like that little boy saved his boat from the shop, Jesus has promised to save our lives from hell, from a place that just isn't very nice at all. And nobody wants to spend any time in a place that they don't want to be in, do they? So just remember that. Jesus thinks we're pearls, and he has done the absolute best that he can to buy us back.
I wonder if any of you noticed how the animal sound at the beginning of Dan's story was slightly different this week. Well, that was because when Dan was trying to film, he had a competition with Mr. Chicken to see who could be the loudest. We didn't include it in his story, but if you stay on at the end of the video, you might be able to see why sometimes it's quite difficult to film on a farm. So it's amazing, isn't it, how many parables, stories that Jesus told we've looked at over the last few weeks. And it's interesting how many of them have been about how Jesus is seeking us. He's looking out for us. He wants us to come to him and be his children. And that's so encouraging, isn't it? And it's what we've been trying to communicate to you kids, the whole of Explosion Club, that Jesus is looking out for you and he wants you to be in his family. But it also means that we can be seeking Jesus. And actually, by coming to Explosion Club or maybe watching these highlights videos, you are seeking Jesus too. And the memory verse that we had this week is about seeking the Lord while he is near. Here's Jess to explain a little bit more.
Today's memory verse, as you'll find out later, is all about seeking the Lord. And I wonder what that means. I think we should go somewhere and see if we can find him. Do you think we could find him here in this big cathedral? Haven't found him yet. No, still not here. I can see a few crosses, but not Jesus. There he is. I wonder if we can see him anywhere else. There he is again, right in the middle. I wonder if any of these statues are of Jesus. Don't think so. And there he is again in the middle. And in the window. Do you think he's in here anywhere? Well, that was a lovely tour of the cathedral, but I wonder if we can find Jesus anywhere else. Maybe we could find God here among all these trees. Or maybe even in the tree. Or perhaps just at home chilling in the garden. The truth is, even though that cathedral was really big and really cool, actually we can find Jesus wherever we are. In a tree, just in your home, because he is everywhere. We don't need to be in a big building or even in a church. Like we've learnt during this time when we've been in lockdown, we've been able to meet together online. That's not even in the same place. We've all been in separate places, but we've met up together and we've talked to God. And so that's what I want us to remember with this memory verse, because it's all about seeking God, and we can do that wherever we are. So the memory verse is, seek the Lord while he may be found. Call on him while he is near. Isaiah 55 verse 6. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call on him while he is near. Isaiah 55 verse 6.
Now, I cannot begin to tell you how much we've enjoyed seeing your craft over the last few weeks. You've worked so hard on creating all the things that Tish has suggested for you. And this time she's got a really special one for you, something that you can work on over the weeks of the summer holidays and make a game of it that you can play with your family. It's very fishy, it's sea themed, and it's loads of fun. Well, that looks like a really fun game, and I can't wait to get stuck into finding a cardboard box and painting it all up for my fishing game. Now, I'm not going to be sending out worksheets this time because it's the last week, but in the email that comes out, there will be a template with those little fishies in so that you have something to colour in and make for your fishing game. I'm going to be really busy as well. I'm going to have to sign off soon because my next job is to fill in certificates and put prizes in the post for all those of you who've been along online on a Tuesday evening and earned lots of points. You've got some great prizes and treats coming your way. Now, we are going to miss you all over the next few weeks. Actually, we hope that we'll be able to see you a bit more in person in the next term. But we're not sure quite when that's going to be. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure if you're not signed up for email newsletters, email us at explosionclub@boveybaptist.org and we can keep in touch with you and tell you when either real Explosion Club is going to happen again or if we're doing other things online. But I want to say a big thank you to all the leaders who contributed so much to these videos and the meetings. I want to say thank you to the parents for logging in on time or catching up via the highlights videos and making sure that everything is working. And I want to say thank you to you kids. We wouldn't have Explosion Club without you kids. It's been amazing. You've all encouraged us and blessed us, and we've loved doing these explosion sessions with you. Have a great summer, and hopefully I'll see some of you in person very soon. Bye for now.
So it's all about a man finding a pearl of great value and going away, Mr. Chicken, everything that he had to buy the pearl. That chicken's going to get a bit annoying, isn't it, if it keeps doing that. Anyway, think that's his last time? Have you finished yet? Obviously not.
And the memory verse is really, really short this time and should be really easy to remember. And it is...
And I can't wait to make mine and give it some really funny features and a nose and ears and blah, blah, blah.
Remember that we should use our talents and the gifts that God's given us. We should use them... That doesn't make sense.
So the memory verse is, seek the Lord. Oh, I can't remember it.
So please go and check out her video.
Hi children. So then let's go from the top.